Hi, welcome. I'm Hannah. Welcome to the new year. It's 2022. I hate saying that. It's just so wordy. And I don't think I usually feel like this when it's the new year, right? It's just because there's so many like ts in it. We'll check back on that at the end of the year and see how we're doing with that. But the purpose of today's video is I want to talk about kind of like my spending plan for this year. So I'm going to first talk about my spending plan for this year, and then towards the end of the video I want to talk about kind of how last year went and some housekeeping things, stuff like that. So let's get into it. So this year I'm going to be doing a budgeting year. I did this a couple years ago, I think 2019, and I think I have some of those videos still up, even though I don't know if I'll keep them up forever because they're a little bit, I don't know, not great. Not like this is great either, but whatever. And that worked out for me for like 6 months until it didn't, but I want to give myself some kind of like real clear rules, and I want to keep myself accountable by posting about it on my YouTube channel for you to see. And I'm excited about it because I want to make a change. I've been wanting to make a change. So let's get into the rules of this. These rules are kind of personal to me. My goal was to do things that were reasonable, and this is what seemed reasonable to me and will make a big difference from how it's been in my life. The things I'm going to be budgeting for are clothing, accessories, purses, makeup, hair things excluding kind of like bathroom things, shoes, all that kind of fun stuff, because I have way too much of them already. So my rules are that I have $200 a month. I'm going to include tax in that number, but I'm not going to include shipping costs. I'm looking at my list and I'm looking down here. I wrote that I'm not including the shipping costs because I want to take back the power and remove the incentive to buy more things, because, you know, shipping's often like spend $5 more and get free shipping, but like I don't need more things. I want to just buy the thing I want to buy and that's it. And like shipping's a separate service anyway. Like instead of driving to the mall, I'm just paying someone to bring it to me. So like, yeah, I'm not going to include that in my like spent number. So the $200 a month can be increased by withdrawing money from selling things on like Mercari or Poshmark. Those are the two that I generally use. So it's not like, oh, I make a sale and then I have that money right away. It's like once the whole thing's done and I take the money out and deposit it into my bank account, then I can use that for my budget things. It can also be increased when I get gifts or gift cards. It can be increased by Rakuten, the like former Ebates, or Dash, but it's not increased by like Chase or Discover rewards, just because those aren't like specifically shopping based. So for like the extra things that I already have, I have a couple hundred in my Mercari account. I have about 200-ish sitting there right now, and then I just made a couple more sales. One of them was kind of big, so I might have like another 200. And I could have like started the year clean and just like started with zero, but I'm like, I'm not trying to make my life hard for myself. Those are things that I sold relatively recently. So whenever I deposit those into my account, I'll increase my budget by that amount. So it's kind of just like an extra little cushion for me. I also have a big store credit to ASOS. I have $212 to ASOS. I have a $50 Luxie gift card that I might have spent some of yesterday. I have $155 for IMGA. I have about $92 to Dolls Kill, and I have a $25 Visa gift card. So I can redeem those whenever. They don't cut into the $200 at all. Those are kind of just like extra things that I have. I also want to kind of monitor the number of things that I bring into my life. I have been reflecting on the things that I bought in 2021, which is going to be its whole own video, but I bought a lot of things, and my goal is to have less things. I think I am better than I used to be about kind of making sure the things that I buy are things that I really like, and I'm not just like trying to get as much as possible, but I'm still not great about it, and I want to give myself that kind of push that if I buy this, I might be prohibiting myself from buying something else in the future. So I want to purchase below 100 pans of eyeshadow, including pans in a palette. I feel like my eyeshadow collection has gotten out of control. I'm not that familiar with my eyeshadow. I have a couple ideas for things I want to do this year to kind of like get to know them a little bit better, but I think an important step is making sure that I'm not then bringing in more and more and more. And 100 is still a lot, but I have this channel. I want to keep, swatching new eyeshadows, reviewing things. I don't want to completely block myself out of it, but I want to make sure that I'm making good decisions and I'm buying things that are special to me, and I don't mind possibly missing out on other things because of them. Like, I want them to be worth it. I also want to purchase below 100 items. So when I say 100 items, I'm going to count each purchase of single shadows as one. So it's kind of confusing, but if I purchase a 12 pan palette, 10 single shadows, and 1 lipstick, it's gonna count as 3 items in my collection, but 22 pans. I hope it's not too confusing, but it makes sense to me, and I think it's gonna work for me. I also wrote that I have permission to use my judgment for that. I'm planning to buy some little hair clips, and I'll likely count those as 1, even if it's like 5 cents of 2 clips. Because I'm also thinking that, like, if I'm doing a video ranking the things that I bought, I'm not going to be like, all right, number 50 is this orange hair clip, and then number 49 is the matching orange hair clip, and then number 48 is the pink hair clip, and then number 47 is the matching pink hair clip, like they're all kind of gonna be one, especially if I'm buying them together. It's kind of, I'm mostly thinking that it's things that I buy together that are small things that I'll think of the same. So I can buy gifts, items bought as gifts aren't included in my tallies. That's kind of like not part of the thing. And I can also buy like bath and, shampoo products because I've never had a problem with purchasing those in excess. I'm not going to have like a replacements thing. I feel like I've kind of personally in my mind taken advantage of that before. And so replacements are going to come out of my budget. Emergency items are not included in my budget. My example is that when I was budgeting, I had an interview coming up and I realized I didn't have any like black trousers that fit me. And I remember that kind of being like a conundrum because it's like, like I planned what I wanted to buy with my budget and then all of a sudden I have to like spend $30 on pants that I don't want to buy. And I think now it's like, the reason people budget is that so when emergency things come up, you can afford them. So in my mind, if it's something like that like I have to spend money on, it's not part of my budget. I'm just chiming in a couple hours later to say that I forgot to mention that there's these 2 Fendi bags that I really want, and if I were to see one of them on the secondhand market for a price that doesn't make me want to scream, I would consider purchasing those as well, and it wouldn't disrupt my plans too much because I think if I follow the budget for the rest of the year, I can afford to splurge on a bag that I've had a lot of time to think about. Yeah, and that's pretty much all of the rules that I wrote down. I think it's definitely doable for me, and I want to come back at the end of each month and talk about the things that I bought, and I'm excited about it. Yeah, to kind of reflect on last year, I posted a video at the start of last year that it was like my no online spending year and I was only going to purchase things in person, and I kind of like shat on budgeting a little bit, and that just like, it didn't work for me. And I think that's like where I was with my life then. I wanted to buy some nicer things. I didn't want to have to worry about budgeting. I was kind of like jaded from budgeting in the past and I didn't want to. So that's where I was then, and that experience taught me that didn't work, and it kind of morphed into something pretty quickly where I was like, well, I'll just buy like a couple important things, like online or not, but I think the lack of having rules really screwed me over, and then when March hit, I kind of just like bought more things than I should have, and I knew it, and I was kind of embarrassed, but it wasn't like a clear no because I didn't really have any rules in place for that. And something that I've seen in like other budgeting videos and things like that is like it's important to have clear rules with yourself. And I think that's true because it's like, you know, as much as I'm doing this for my own well-being, I also like take advantage of myself and I try to like play these mental games where I'm like, oh, this is okay because of that, and it's not okay, and I'm just screwing myself over at the end. So I think that the rules I put in place this time, you know, I think to others, they might seem like too relaxed. It might seem like a lot of money to spend $200 a month at least on fun things. But for me, like, I easily spend over $1,000 on things every month, and it's ridiculous. And I have a small living space, and I'm just hurting myself. And by giving myself this budget, I know I'm going to be looking at each thing more critically, and I'm going to be thinking, well, if I buy this, it's preventing me from buying other things later in the month. And I think I'll end up buying things that I like more because of that. So even though it doesn't work for everyone, I think it's realistic for me, and I think realistic is really important because, like, this passion that I have at the start of the year, this passion I have when I'm inventorying the things I have, it's going to fade. Even if I could keep up with more strict rules at this moment, I know that a couple months down the line, I'm gonna be like, screw it, like, can't do it. You know, like, I need to be a little realistic with myself. So yeah. The last housekeeping thing I wanted to say is that I want to be posting more regularly this year. I think I want to do, like, you know, 2 videos a week and like an optional third. But also I have kind of like a backlog of videos. Towards the end of last year, I was filming a lot and not editing them, and then I kind of got like overwhelmed with the fact that I had all these like old videos sitting there. And then in December, I was like, I'm just gonna like post every day and get them all up, and then I missed a day, and then I kind of like lost my chutzpah, and I wanted to go into the new year having a clean slate, and I don't. And I mean, those videos, like, they're still relevant. There was nothing time sensitive that I didn't get up. It's just like there might be a mention of like this year, and I'm referring to 2021, and it's kind of like confusing. But I think I want to try to get those videos up in January, and, you know, while kind of interspersing them with January specific videos. I don't know if anyone really cares. I just figured I'd mention it because it's something that's been holding me up. And yeah, so I think in January there might be some me with blonde hair. There might be a video where I'm like, oh, I have brown hair now. I think I have like 2 videos where I had blonde hair that I didn't finish them, so I'm gonna have to go back in with brown hair and finish them. But yeah, it's all makeup. It's all fun. It doesn't matter. I figured I would just mention it. And yeah, I also have like things that I wanted to, like, I thought in 2021 I would be able to like do more declutters, and time got away from me, and I think being more organized with my videos this year will help me make sure I'm, you know, decluttering regularly. Yeah, I started like tallying up my inventory of clothing, and I know I didn't get rid of as much as I wanted to. Makeup, I think I did, but there was definitely like declutters I could have done in December that I just didn't have like a chance to film them, so I just didn't do them. But we're gonna do them now, and I think that I'm going to accomplish way more of my goals pertaining to this than I did in 2021, and I think it's going to be really good. So yeah, if you want to join me for this journey, I would love to have you here. I would love to, you know, share my progress with you every month. And if you're in a similar journey, I'd love to hear about it. And, you know, we could support each other. I post a lot about, you know, makeup and indie products. It's going to be more budgeting and trying to simplify my life in a way. I'm also really interested in fashion, and having way too much clothes is kind of like my biggest problem. And because I have so much clothes, it holds me back from filming content about clothes. But I just want to try to start doing that also, and I kind of have a goal for myself to do like 1 fashion video a month, perhaps, hopefully. So I hope you're game for that also. And I mean, overall, just thank you so much for watching this video. It means a lot to me. And that's it. Bye.